Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. The game that teaches us that, the game that teaches us that fears are typically irrational, or something like that. I don't know. Sometimes fears are rational, sometimes they're irrational. Shoichi's fear of public bathrooms is bordering the irrational side. But I can also kind of understand where he's coming from. Kind of. Anyways, let's just hop right in. I swear I need to come up with something better. Yo, we're back. So I see. Did everything go okay? Yeah, they opened an exception for me since I was actually increasing the difficulty of my performance. Although they did say that they'll double the amount of points deducted for each mistake I make. What? That's crazy. Why would you agree to that? I'm not planning on making any mistakes. Fuck. The stream died for a second. Haha, see? I asked him the same question and he answered me with the same thing. Sai gives him an enthusiastic slap on the back, laughing. He is such a good boy. Yes, he is such a good boy. She nearly sends him down to the floor. When did you get so bold, Kobayashi-kun? Yeah. Okay. For a second, I thought that both of his eyes were different colors. Shoichi, I thought that it was that way, but it isn't. When did you get so bold, Kobayashi-kun? Ow, Izuguchi-san, please stop slapping me. What? Not you too. I'm not even that strong. I'm not Shoichi. It's not about being strong, Saya-chan. It's about not knowing how to control your strength. Oh, like I want to hear that from you. Saya gives him a cold stare. Well, I don't hurt people at random. I'm sorry. Anymore. I add to a sentence. Yeah. Anymore. Saya huffs, unamused. Alright, I won't touch anyone ever again. I'll spend the rest of my cold, sad existence without knowing what the warmth of another person's touch is. Happy now? She starts being melodramatic in an attempt to state her displeasure. Yes. Damn! Oh, that's what it's called. Okay. Without batting an eye and giving no attention whatsoever to her drama, June answers her with a single word. Jeez, that's cruel, Kobayashi-kun. Anytime. Jeez. He doesn't understand social cues. Oh my god. He answers with feigned ignorance. The reason I can tell it's not legit ignorance is because his mouth is quivering in an attempt to suppress laughter. Oh, June. You know, you two could definitely form a comedy duo. Kobayashi-kun could be the straight man and Mizuguchi-san could be the funny girl. A comedy duo or double act is a traditional form of humor in which a duo has completely different personalities, where the straight man is usually serious and down to earth and the funny man is ridiculous and a tad crazy. Yeah, hiya. The same could be said of the following pairs: me and you and Saya, Yuichi and Jun-kun, and me and Yuichi. Hey, I disagree with that. I am clearly the straight man in our pairing. Who are you trying to fool here? You're barely qualified to be the straight man in your pairing with Kobayashi-kun. Hey, rude! The only thing worse than a fool is a fool in denial. Hey! Guys, please don't start arguing. I have to leave to go backstage in 2 minutes, and I'd much prefer if you didn't kill each other while I was gone. Keikun and Shoichi fist bump, smiling smugly at me. I stare at them, exasperated. Okay, I'm gonna, go plug my phone in. I should have done this earlier. Go charge, It's charging. I stare at them, exasperated. When does your performance start again? 12:30, but I still need to go backstage to prepare. All participants are supposed to wait back there for their performances. Ugh, sounds like waiting for your performance to come up will be boring. No offense, Mizuguchi-san, but why did you come if you dislike classical music that much? To cheer you on, of course! I was actually going to bring a bunch of bandanas and a cheering flag I had made at home, but Keikun said I wasn't allowed to. She pouts. I already told you, this is classical music. Making any sort of noise during the performance is in bad form. You might distract the competitors. Boo! That's boring. If you don't want to watch it, then just go home. No, then I won't be able to watch Jun-kun perform. Then stop whining. You don't have to say it like that. Mizuguchi-san, you already knew that this was going to be a classical music performance. You knew other people would be performing, and you knew you didn't like this sort of music. So why did you choose to only complain now? Why even show up at all? Because I have to encourage Kobayashi-kun, of course. Keikun looks over to Jun and snapped his fingers, calling his attention. Hey, Kobayashi. What, yeah? How do you feel about somebody coming to watch who hates the music and is only here because they think they have to? What? Well... Jun glances over at Saya, sheepishly rubbing his cheek. Saya Chad only lives by one rule. Fuck the rules. I want people to appreciate my music, so it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable if someone is coming over against their will. But I'm really happy to have you all here. I'm really touched that you'd come all the way here to see me perform. Even more so knowing that you don't really like classical music. So are you happy about it or not? Which one is it? Yeah, you're 100% contradicting yourself. I might have gone a little too far, sorry. I was only trying to make the point that complaining about being here in front of Kobayashi would only make him feel bad. Sorry for putting you on the spot, Kobayashi. As if on cue, Saya bows down. I'm sorry if I've been complaining too much. Oh, no, it's fine. It doesn't bother me too much. Honestly, I'm just happy you all cared enough to come see me. Of course we'd show up. You're one of us now. Sai gives him a thumbs up, smiling widely. Yes, you're one of us now. My condolences. Honestly, I wouldn't lose this for anything. Just go kick some ass, okay? Shoichi gives him a few light taps on the back. After they all say their piece, the four of them turn over to me, looking at me with expectation. What? Come on, Yuichi. Give him some words of encouragement. One of us. 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 One... Oh, well... It's okay, Yuichi-san. You don't need to say anything. A beeping noise echoes through the lobby's sound system. Competitors in the 12th Sakura University piano competition, please move backstage for preparations. I have to go. Already? Can't you stay a little longer? No, it's easier for the organizers if we're all already backstage. Plus, I need to change and I need time to focus, so... He said it! Among Us! Good luck, Kobayashi-kun. June nerds! Fuck! I cannot speak. Fuck! June nerds along. Just like, June nods, turning around to join the mass of people who started going towards the backstage. Yeeds! Joichi! We got Yeeds, Joichi, and now nerds. Hi and welcome to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that I don't know how to speak English apparently. June! I don't know why, but I suddenly had an urge to speak up. I called out to him after he took a few steps away from us. June turned around, looking at me with curiosity. I believe in you! June looked dazed for a second, as if he didn't quite grasp my words. Thank you! This time he ran away, quickly joining the others and disappearing from our sights. Well, I guess we already know who his favorite is. Huh? Why was he so much happier when you encouraged him? You didn't even say 5 words. What? When did the two of you get so close that you'd be able to lift his spirits that much? Even you? Whatever, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Shouting out, I don't care anymore, isn't the sort of thing a person does when they quote-unquote don't care. Shut up! Yes, ma'am. I've known her for 12 years, and I still have no clue how her mind operates. And you'll know her for 70 years more and still won't understand it. Just roll with it. Shoichi puts a hand on my shoulder. Well, as much as I dread the idea, I have to go freshen up a bit. Can't exactly sit down to watch the performances smelling like a musky husky. They'll be opening the sitting area now, so I'm gonna go get us some seats. A girl gets up from the piano, bowing to the crowd and walking out of the stage. She gets a very lukewarm reception, with only a few claps here and there. Weak. Keikun has criticized every single performance that has been put out so far. I know classical tends to be boring, but I can barely stay awake right now. Hey, Urushihara, have they all been that bad? You haven't had a single good thing to say about their performances. Not bad per se, but not good either. None of them stands out. Hey, Yuichi-san, you're the only one who's seen Kobayashi perform. Do you think he's better than them? Well, none of their performances has made me feel the same way as Jun's did. When I saw him play, I felt like the music was calling to me, tugging at my heartstrings. I felt like I needed to get closer, to feel all the keys pounding with my whole body. But these kids, I don't feel anything. No rush, no excitement, nothing. I don't really know much about music, but I know that they don't really do anything for me. I think Jun is much better. And now our next performer will be Shinji Akudagawa, performing Franz Liszt's Grande Fantage de Bravoure sur la Clochette. I definitely butchered that. The crowd starts clapping as a lion walks into the stage donning a black suit, waving at the audience with a confident smile on his face. That's him. How do you think his performance will go? I don't know. I hope for Kobayashi's sake that he's not good. The lion sits down in front of the piano. The audience goes dead silent almost by instinct. Suddenly, I feel very on edge. The few seconds of silence before he begins his performance start to fill me with a sense of dread. What if he's good? What then? I feel like my heart is going to explode. If I'm like this, how must Jun be feeling right now? I hope he's okay. He starts performing, and I instinctively hold my breath. The keys echo softly, slowly beginning to weave a slow melody. This doesn't seem as amazing as Keikun mentioned. I start feeling angry at him and Jun for making me feel so on edge for nothing. This is what you're afraid of? This is not... No. He's good. But this song sounds so... easy. Grande Fantasia starts off really slow. It suddenly speeds up in about 3 minutes. That's what will make or break his performance. If he can do that part correctly, then... Here it comes. He suddenly speeds up his performance so much that I can barely recognize it as the same song. He's not just fast, he's oppressively fast. I feel as if I'm suddenly being pounded into submission. I instinctively hold my breath, my heart rate increases exponentially. That was a very poor choice of words. I feel like the sheer magnitude of his performance forbids me from uttering a single word. There's so much I want to say, but my body is frozen in place and refuses to listen. The words are caught in my throat, unable to be let out. If it's like this, if he's this good, shit, please don't let Jun be watching this performance. Please, God, don't let him watch this. If he does, I'm pretty sure his spirit will break. He finally stops his performance. It feels as if the enormous weight that was pressing down on the audience is suddenly lifted as everyone breathes a collective sigh of relief. Akudagawa-kun gets up from his seat, panting heavily. His legs wobble a bit, but he makes his way to the front of the stage, bowing down to the audience. The crowd immediately erupts in cheers, giving Akudagawa-kun a standing ovation. The sound is so loud that it almost shakes the entire concert hall. He was without a doubt the best performance so far. and you can tell that from how the crowd reacts. After bowing down to the crowd, he walks out of the stage as there is another beep followed by the announcer's voice. There will now be a 15-minute interval. Audience members are advised to not be away from their seats for more than 10 minutes, as they might miss some of the ensuing performance. Shit. K-kun was the first to break the deathly silence that had fallen on us. When's Kobayashi-kun's performance? I swallow hard, trying to steady myself. Alright, time to go. Okay, time to go. Time to go make Kobayashi-kun feel better. Let's go. I swallow hard, trying to steady myself. He's next. Double shit. Yeah. Having to follow up on a performance like that, I don't think he'd be able to. If he watched this, something in my heart tells me that he watched that performance, and I know he wouldn't be able to go out on stage after that. Save my seat for me. What? I get up from my seat and run out of the hall. I run to the backstage entrance. When I try walking through the door, a ram dressed in a uniform stops me. Excuse me, sir. Only competitors are allowed backstage. I need to see my friend. I'm sorry, but like I said, only competitors are allowed. Like I care! I push him to the side, nearly knocking him against the corridor wall, and run past him. Wait, stop! It isn't hard at all for me to just bolt past him. As soon as I'm in, I start looking for June. Where could he... I stop dead in my tracks as I see a familiar figure wearing a white suit sitting down on the floor. His face buried in his knees and his entire body shaking as very quiet sobs come out of him. June? I timidly reach out to him, putting a hand on his shoulder. He looks up at me, tears streaming down his face. Oh, Yuichi-san! It takes him a while to recognize me. As soon as he does, he wipes his tears away with the cuff of his suit. What are you doing here? Fuck the law! Hey! The employee I knocked aside when I barged my way into the backstage comes up to us, looking furious. You, kid, come back here. Shit. He grabs my arm and starts pulling me away from June. No, wait, I need to stay here. I don't give a flying rat's ass. I'm kicking you out. Wait. June calls out to the man holding me. He stops and looks back. I'm a competitor. Aren't I allowed by the rules to have someone with me for support? June gets up from the floor, staring down the employee, which is quite a feat considering the man is taller than even me. Well, that's usually reserved for family, and you have to declare them beforehand. I understand, but my parents couldn't attend today due to personal reasons. So I asked my friends to come with me. I'm sorry, could you please let him stay? What? This kid nearly threw me against the wall trying to bust his way in. You're asking me to let that slide? I'm deeply sorry. June bows, his face going so low that I'm afraid he'll just keep going and will hit the floor. No, wait, June, you don't have to apologize for myself. I'm so sorry. He was just worried about me. He didn't know what he was doing. I'll take full responsibility for his actions. June. The ram looks from me towards June, who is still bowing. His expression seems to have softened a bit, but he still looks very angry. I'll get on my knees and beg if you want me to. What? No, June, that's going too far. I should be the one to apologize. There's no need. The ram lets go of my hand, his eyes fixed on June. Lift your head, kid. If it's that important to you, I'll let your friend stay. I won't report this. Otherwise, you could end up being penalized due to him. June straightens himself back up, smiling at the employee. Thank you, sir. He nods. Don't mention it. And you... He turns to look at me, and that sharp, angry look flashes again in his eyes. Behave. And thank your lucky stars no one else was here to see this, or you could have hurt your friend's chances. He turns around and walks away, turning at the corridor, disappearing from our sight. June lets out a sigh of relief as he leans his back against the wall and slumps back down to the ground. June, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to... I know. What are you doing here, Yuichi-san? Okay, yeah, I'm actually going to grab my phone. It's, like, good charge. Let me grab it real quick. Ah! 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 No, I should have, like, charged my phone beforehand. What are you doing here, Yuichi-san? I came to check up on you. I was worried. Thought so. He hugs his knees, resting his chin on them and looking straight ahead. Akudagawa-kun was something else. After I saw his performance, I just felt like it was impossible for me to beat him. So it's like I thought. He really did watch that performance, and it really did crush his spirit. I sit down next to Jun as close as I can without actually touching him. He seems to hold his breath for a second, unsure of what I'm doing. Then he relaxes. I'm sorry to have worried you. It's okay. It's what friends are for. What about now? How do you feel? His body starts shaking again. I shouldn't have come here. This was a mistake. I should have just stayed out of the competitions. I shift my body and kneel next to him, reaching out my hand to touch his face. Oh, hiya. Oh god, am I going to cry? Am I going to start crying? Wait. I shift my body and kneel next to him, reaching out my hand to touch his face. Jun freezes, looking at me like a deer in the headlights. I wipe away the tears that are beginning with my right hand, caressing his cheek as I do so. That's not true, Jun. You've been practicing day and night for this. You're more than ready. No, I can't play. His voice sounded so distant and lonely. There has to be a way for me to console him. Which one? No! 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 Ah! Ah! Before I even have time to properly think about it, I wrap my arms around Jun, pulling him close to me and placing his head on my chest. What are you... Yuichi-san? It's okay. I start stroking the back of his head, doing my best to sound warm and welcoming. No! Fuck! Fuck! Soon enough, the dam bursts. Jun clings tightly to my shirt and buries his head in my chest, sobbing. I hold him there for what feels like many minutes, waiting for him to calm down. Little by little, his sobs become quieter and less numerous. When it seems that his sobbing has finally died down, I speak up. Why do you think you can't play? Jun pulls away from me, looking down at the floor. Yeah, I remember. No, 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 no. If I already overreact this much to this, I couldn't handle it. I can't. I fucking can't. Jun pulls away from me, looking down at the floor. Ah! Once again, I wipe the tears from his face and smile at him. My hands, they feel cold. I realize that his hands are still shaking. I grab hold of one of his hands and give it a squeeze. Do you mean this hand? He pulls his hand away from me, looking down at the floor and nodding. Neither have I. I don't think anyone recovers from Ad Astra. No one recovers from it. There we go. There's the tagline. Yeah, sorry. But no. There's the new tagline for Ad Astra. The game that breaks people. You will never recover from it. He pulls his hand away from me, looking down at the floor and nodding. They feel so cold. I can barely even move them. I don't know what to do. I can't play like this. His voice is so small and sad. I'm afraid he might start crying again at any second. He's so nervous that his hands and maybe feet are feeling cold. I remember I used to feel the same when I just started playing competitively. Jun, give me your hand. Even when stressed, he diligently does what I ask of him. I grab his wrists and put both of his hands together, palm against palm. Then I wrap my hands around his. What? I gently pull his hands towards me and exhale on them. Yuichi-san, what are you doing? I look him in the eye, making sure to give him the gentlest, warmest smile I can. I'm warming your hands up so you can play. I know his hands aren't actually cold, but I'm just hoping I can somehow get him past whatever block has him like this. I swear to God, if that statement changes to, oh yeah, Ad Astra and Tennis Ace, the games that break people, you will never recover from them, and if you do, you're a fucking liar. I've managed to defuse his last panic attack. I won't be giving up with this one. Hey, Jun-kun, don't you think this is alright? I speak in a soft voice. My use of the honorific seems to have caught his attention. Fuck. I caress the back of his hands with my thumbs, trying to seem as encouraging as I can. You've been working your hardest so far, wanting to show everyone your performance. A performance only you can make. Isn't that true? A performance only I can make? I nod slowly. I don't understand much about music myself, but shouldn't your music get your feelings across? Then why don't you, instead of worrying about getting a perfect performance, just try to show everyone how you feel. I loved watching that first performance of yours. I know I've seen you perform once or twice after that. That one really struck a chord with me. Wait, are we in Jun's route? How do we check? I don't know. I felt as if your song was calling out to me. It was warm and gentle and passionate. I'm sure you weren't trying to show people how good your skills were. You were just happy to play and watched and wanted to pour your feelings into the piano. So why can't you do that again? If I did that, I wouldn't be able to win. I shake my head in negative. Oh, okay. I don't believe that for even just a second. No one in this hall has managed to touch me the way your playing did. Jun, I believe in you. No matter what you do, I'm sure you'll be doing your best. So isn't this all right? Oh no. Can't you just play how you want to play? I don't know how these competitions are judged, but wouldn't it be better if you put out the best performance you can instead of just worrying about getting everything completely perfect? Jun stares at me. His fur is matted from his tears and his eyes are red, but he looks calm. I hold his hands a little bit tighter, trying to encourage him any way I can. Jun nods. I'll try. I'll try to put my feelings in my music, hopefully. He doesn't finish his sentence, but I already know he can do it. As long as he can stay calm, there's no reason he wouldn't be able to. Jun Kobayashi? The worker from before peeks his head through the hallway, calling out Jun's name. Jun pulls away from me and immediately gets up. Yes? The interval is about to end. You have 2 minutes. All right. Jun nods, suddenly full of energy. The ram smiles and walks away. All right, Yuichi-san, I'm going now. Please watch over my performance. Right, I have to hurry back to my seat then. See you later. See you later. I turn to walk away. Oh, and one more thing. What is it? Thank you. Caught by surprise, I don't react for a few seconds. Then I nod and start running back to my seat. By the time I reach my seat, Jun is already halfway to the piano. Where the hell were you? Shoichi leans up to me, frowning. I went to see Jun. What? Why would you... Shh! Someone shushes us from behind. Shoichi glares at me and leans back into his own seat. I will... What's sad is that we are going to get both endings. We are going to 100% this game, to the best of our ability. Jun sits in front of the piano, putting one of his hands on his knee and the other on his chest. He seems to be holding something... A pendant? Even if I have good eyesight, I can barely make it out. After what seems to be a full minute, he finally adjusts himself on his seat and places his hands on the keys. The song starts very slow. Jun plays the initial keys with only one hand. The few whispers that could be heard in the audience seem to have died down the instant he started to play. Even though his movement seems to be tense and robotic, the melody comes out easily and is pleasing to hear. As he continues to play, Jun seems to relax. He starts swaying back and forth to the rhythm of the melody, his tail beginning to move slowly in the air. He's definitely getting into it. Looking to the side, I see Keikun tapping his feet to the sound of the music. Saya looks for the first time like she's completely awake and not about to doze off. Shoichi's lips are curved in a proud smile, as if he were a dad watching his son's first ball game. Here it comes. Keikun murmurs just as the song seems to slow down to a halt. Then, the song immediately picks up the pace, completely switching gears and becoming insanely fast. No way! Keikun's reaction mirrors that of the entire audience. Surprise, perplexity, admiration, it is without a doubt that Jun is playing this song flawlessly. Even a layman like me can tell. He did. He totally did. As he continues to hammer out the keys with practiced skill, Jun's entire body moves along to the melody, creating a vivid performance that fills the halls with a rich, confident sound. I feel it echoing deep inside my chest. This is the same feeling as when I saw him playing for the first time. It takes every fiber of self-control I have to keep myself from getting up and walking towards the stage. I want to get even closer. It's so moving that I feel like I could cry. With the performances already over for the day, all that is left is to wait for the results to be posted. Jun has been pouting ever since he came out to the lobby, already changed into his regular clothes. I already told you to cheer up. Your performance was amazing. Stop sulking. Slay. Just telling him to cheer up isn't going to magically cheer him up, you know. The three of us have been trying to up Jun's spirits since he rejoined us. Unfortunately, results have been very mixed. Meanwhile, Sai is waiting by the notice board to see the results when they finally get posted. I just feel like I bombed it. You didn't bomb it, I'm telling you. Your performance was amazing. There's no doubt in my mind that you'll snag second place. But I need first place. If I don't get it, there's no chance for me to go to Germany. I know that. I just can't tell you that you'll win because I'm not so sure. I think it'll be very close. I don't really understand much about music, but I thought Jun-kun's performance was better, didn't you? It depends. Kobayashi didn't start with the standard interpretation, and that might not fly well with the judges. Regardless, I know that in technical terms, he was number one. But it basically comes down to whether or not the judges like his interpretation of the song. Even if Akudagawa's performance was higher in technical skill to the duration of that piece, Kobayashi's was faster and more refined. It comes down to the judge's personal tastes, then? That doesn't sound too good. It's not. That's why everyone tends to only play the standard interpretation. You won't charm any judges with your individuality, but you'll make sure none will dislike you so much that they fail you. I don't know that. I suddenly feel very awkward for suggesting that he do that. If Jun ends up failing because of this, I'll feel incredibly guilty for a long time. I'm sorry, Jun. I shouldn't have suggested you play like that. Wait, you're the one who suggested he do that? Of all the reckless... Jun lifts a hand up in the air, cutting Keikun off mid-sentence. It's alright, Yuichi-san. That's good advice for me. If I'd gotten fixated on playing the song perfectly instead of just playing it how I wanted, I would have been crushed by my own anxiety. Playing it like that is the only reason I was able to play at all. If they fail me for that, then so be it. What is this adorable creature? Before my impulses can take over me and force me to hug the shit out of Jun, Shinji Akudagawa approaches us. There you are. I've been looking for you for almost 10 minutes. The look on his face is both angry and scary. Even I suddenly feel like taking a step back. Jun, on the other hand, doesn't retreat. He just goes into stare mode. He stares back at the line with an intensity that I never thought he was capable of. It's a big lobby, after all. How are you doing, Akudagawa-kun? Honestly, of all the stupid things you could have done, why didn't you go with the standard interpretation? You basically threw in the towel for the moment you did that. It's very subtle, but I can notice Jun's body shifting a little bit when he hears that. Maybe he's not as confident as he's trying to portray himself. Jun looks down at the floor for just a second. At least that's what I'd like to say. Akudagawa sighs, lifting both of his hands to the air and shrugging. I never thought you could do that well. I thought you'd be rusty after being out of stages for 7 years. Said you came back sharper than before. Akudagawa's penetrating gaze softens considerably as he looks over the perplexed tiger. Congratulations, Kobayashi-kun. No matter what the judges say, you're the victor today, but I won't lose next time. Without even giving him time to answer, the lion turns and walks away, leaving fuck! Leaving June gaping in his spot. Well, that was something. That guy's weird for sure. June catches everyone by surprise when he suddenly hunches and starts laughing loudly. What the? Sorry. He takes a few seconds to calm himself, wiping away a small tear from his left eye. How can he laugh so carefree like that? Akudagawa-kun really hasn't changed at all. He was always pretty blunt about stuff like that. You're telling me he was always like that? Gorb. Oh no. June nods. Akudagawa-kun is very demanding of himself. He's always quick to praise people when he thinks they deserve it, and always admits his own shortcomings when he thinks they exist. Yeet, Yoichi, and Nerds and Goon, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Oh no! He always admits defeat if he thinks that he's been defeated. Even if the judges give him first place, he'll still consider himself the loser. That's the kind of pianist he is. Talk about a serious attitude. It's what you'd expect from someone aiming for the pros. He doesn't have time to make excuses for himself. He just takes in everything that he can and moves on. Heh, I guess we could all stand to learn a few things from that guy then. Guys! Sai comes running towards us, yelling so loudly that everyone in earshot turns to look at the source of this sudden noise. The results! How did it go? What were they? Sai is hunching over, her hands on her knees, panting and gasping desperately for air. First place! Really? June immediately latches onto her, grabbing her arms with both of his hands and looking her in the eye. Saya swallows once and nods empathetically. You got first place! June stares at her, wide-eyed. His hands start to shake and he stumbles backwards, collapsing on a nearby bench. Big droplets start welling up in his eyes. He pulls out a pendant from his pocket and holds it tightly in his hands, touching it to his forehead. Thank God! He then starts sobbing uncontrollably. April 22nd, Saturday. Day 10. My mind is violently snapped back into a wakefulness by the sudden blaring noise of the alarm. What the? Who even set up the alarm? Shit. Where is it so I can turn this damn thing off? Ah, there, 9:30. Why the hell am I waking up at 9:30 on a weekend? As if I have anything to... Let me just pull up the sensor because I don't trust it. Okay. Sensor horizontal. Wait. Did I promise to go out with someone today? There we go. That's fun. Ah! As my mind slowly dispels its foggy state, I seem to remember a little bit more. That's right, I'd scheduled to go out today. Is this where we choose the routes? Oh. Okay. Ah. Okay. Okay. So am I. So am I. Shit. That's right. Shoichi asked me to go out with him today. I was sitting on the rooftop like I do sometimes. Cloud gazing helps keep my stress at an acceptable level. Oh, I knew you'd be here. Shoichi showed up, looking down at me with a mix of annoyance and amusement. I get the feeling that we've done this a lot over the years. What was it this time? Too much homework, incoming tests leaving you stressed? Not sure. It wasn't too uncommon for me to feel on edge from time to time. Be it home life, schoolwork, or everything that was going on with my tennis career. There was always something to tick me off and make me feel stressed. Being lazy was my major outlet. Shoichi sits down on the ground next to me. I can see him staring at my face in curiosity for a few seconds. Then he turns his eyes towards the sky, watching the clouds. He curves his body forward, hugging his knees as he looks up. We sit in silence for a few minutes, merely watching the clouds as they fly by. It might be silly, but it really does help me to relax. You know, Shoichi starts to talk. Spare me the lecture. Before he even has time to finish his sentence, I already cut him off. Rude! You don't even know what I was going to say. It's you! Of course, you're going to give me a lecture about missing class and how that will reflect poorly on my college admittance exams. Then I have to remind you that I don't plan on taking those. Yada yada yada. It's the same argument we have every time. Pick a new topic already. I give a fleeting glance in his direction. Seeing that look of annoyance on his face feels refreshing somehow. I guess you really do know me well. It's been over 10 years. It's expected that I would by this point. Shit. Oh yeah, we did. Let's do Shoichi's route first. Yeah. I guess that's true. Shoichi starts rocking his body sideways as he hums a familiar melody. For some reason, I can't seem to recall where I've heard this before. Still, it's a very pleasant tune. Shoichi continues humming happily, not realizing that I've begun watching him. Seeing him look so happy also does wonders for my mood. More so than any clouds in the sky could. Shoichi finally seems to notice that my attention is turned to him. What is it? My heart seems to skip a beat for a second there. I have to look away to hide the fact that I'm suddenly blushing. Why am I blushing? No, it's nothing! I hear Shoichi chuckling, but I still don't turn to look at him. Is that so, huh? Shoichi starts humming again. Hey, Yuichi. He starts humming very quickly, suddenly calling out to me. Reflexively, I turn to look at him. What is it? Shoichi leans forward against his knees, resting his chin on them as his eyes look sideways at me. Do you remember this song? Huh? What kind of question is this? You mean the one you were humming? Yeah. Shoichi nods. Where was it that I heard that song before? Do we remember it or not? Really? It's a song that was playing at the Lunar Festival we went to as kids. When was that again? 6 years ago? Ah! Shoichi stares at me in complete bewilderment for a few seconds. Doubt starts creeping in. Could it be that I was wrong? Then he suddenly nods energetically, looking incredibly pleased with himself. You do remember! I'm glad. Shoichi starts laughing. He seems so innocent and unguarded, I can't help but start laughing myself. We keep laughing like two idiots for a few seconds, just enjoying the moment. That's right, the song suddenly popped back in my mind this morning. I don't know why. It just reminded me of how long it's been since we last went to a festival. Well, we always seem to be very busy around the time of the festival, so it's no surprise. Shoichi nods. That's also true. It's kind of sad when I think about it. Doesn't help that the festival only happens during one of the busiest seasons of the year. Our city's Lunar Festival happens at the end of June, just when one of the major tennis. Fuck. Okay. We got Yeats, Joichi, Yoichi, nerds, and now Tenemis. Fuck. Just when one of the major tennis tournaments is going on. It's also right in the middle of the National Summer Tournament for Shoichi, and while they don't usually manage to qualify, he's still working hard to try and get there. In the end, we haven't managed to attend together once in the last 6 years. Feels a bit sad when you think about it. Damn it. Now that you mention it, I really want to try going to a festival again. It's really been a while. Last time I attended was on our first year, but you weren't doing too hot back then, and I didn't want to go, didn't want to go with me. Ugh, don't remind me. I was back during the peak of my slump. I was sitting around and feeling pity for myself most of the time. Ugh, it's embarrassing to even think about. Hey, how about we go together this year? You forgot the part where we're both probably going to be super busy by then? Well, do you know for a fact that you won't have at least one free day during the festival? Well, our city's festival starts on Friday, going all the way to Sunday. So it might be possible for us to meet up then, but I might have the time, but we still don't know if you will. We can't make arrangements like this without knowing. That's true. But I want to go to a festival! Shoichi starts throwing a temper tantrum. As comical as the image of an 18-year-old that's almost 2 meters tall flailing around in a tantrum is, that's a bit weird. What are you, a kid? That's cruel. His switch suddenly goes off. Geez, when we're both alone together, he becomes so easygoing that it's like hanging out with a completely different person. Just accept reality already. The chances of us two going out to a festival together are stupidly small this year. Well, what is it? Just spit it out already. Now that I think about it, that's not entirely true. We could go to a festival if we wanted to. What? I don't know of any festivals in town save for the Lunar Festival. Then you're in for a treat. Will you be free on Saturday? I should be. Why? Oh, no reason in particular. Except that you'll be going out with me, of course. There's one festival going on in town this Saturday, and I am absolutely going to take you there. What festival is this? That, my friend, will be a surprise. I groan, already anticipating the worst. Right, that's why I had my alarm blaring early in the morning on a weekend. Ugh, I know I promised to go out with him, but I'm so groggy right now that the idea of getting up just feels like a chore. Aniki, aren't you up yet? Aki opens my door, peering his little head inside for a few seconds. As soon as he realizes that I'm looking right at him, he walks inside and closes the door behind him. Jeez, you're still in bed? How long do you even plan on sleeping for? Just 5 more minutes, Aki. I cover myself with my blanket, completely obfuscating my view. Aki sighs audibly. He mutters something that I can barely hear. What a useless older brother you can be sometimes. Damn! Hey, Aki. What the hell did you just say? I immediately stand up on my feet, on top of my bed, looking at my little brother who just stares at me with a blank expression. Oh, you're up now. Since you're up already, why don't you head downstairs? Shoichi has been waiting for you for over an hour already. Without missing a beat, Aki says whatever he wants and leaves. Aki just fucking slayed. He was just like, you're useless. Period. He just fucking slayed so hard. Wait a second. The little bastard played me! I should have known. He knew I'd get angry and would get up if he said that. Seriously, getting played by my little brother like that, it's a bit... Wait. What was that last part? Hey, Aki, what did you just say? He spins around in place to look at me. Huh? Thought I made myself pretty clear. I mean the part about Shoichi being here. Oh. He came over at 8:30. Has been waiting for you for over an hour. What? You probably shouldn't keep him waiting much longer. I am left scrambling to get dressed as fast as I can. Shit! Why is Shoichi even here already? We set up to meet at 10. As I run into the living room, still hastily shoving myself inside a random shirt, I see Shoichi sitting in the couch, chatting with my little brother. Oh, you're up. About time. He flashes me a cheeky grin as he gets up from his seat to come greet me, extending his hand for a handshake. What are you doing here? Really? That's the first thing you say to me? Not, nice to see you, Shoichi, or how have you been, Shoichi? Alright, fine. I grab his hand and give him a firm handshake. Nice to see you, Shoichi. How have you been? Also, what the hell are you doing here? You wound me, Yuichi. But to answer your question, I came over because I thought we could chat while you got ready. That way we could also head out together instead of meeting at the station. So you showed up an hour and a half before we were supposed to meet. Shoichi shifts around, crossing his arms and looking as if I had offended him. Of course not. I'm not stupid. We agreed to meet at 9. I was half an hour early. What? No, you weren't. We agreed to meet at 10. I even set up my alarm for 9:30. You seriously think we were meeting at 10? I nod. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his phone. Here. Damn. Yeah, what time? I told you already. I told you twice already. Stop forgetting. She's got off my case. I'm just making sure. Uh-huh. We're meeting at 9 a.m. Oh, fuck. Stream died. But it didn't. Our contact. Just dumbass. We'll see. See what it says? 9 a.m. 9. And I warned you not to be late. What? You have anything to say in your defense? Tee, I made a mistake. I stick my tongue out, trying to act cute and innocent. Ow! Shoichi gives me a karate chop to the head, making me see stars. Don't try to pull off the Mo act. You're neither a girl, nor are you cute. You didn't have to hit me so friggin' hard. Hard? Pfft, don't make me laugh. If I had actually hit you hard, I would have probably cracked your skull. What the hell are you, the Incredible Hulk? I just have a little bit of upper body strength. A little bit is an understatement. By the way, why didn't you wake me up if you knew I was late? Well, what? You looked really peaceful in your sleep, so I didn't want to disturb you. And what's the real reason? Well, I'm being serious. I thought you could use a sleep, that's all. For some reason, Shoichi is suddenly acting very flustered. Shoichi needs telling the truth, Aniki. I told him to wake you up a bunch of times and he refused. Really? Doesn't sound like the Shoichi that I know. Well, there it is. Corroboration from the best possible witness. Aki grins, looking maliciously at Shoichi. Yes, in fact, I'm pretty sure you muttered, he looks so cute when he's asleep, when you thought I wasn't listening. What? I didn't! Not to mention you telling me, no, let him sleep. It'd be too cruel to wake him up. Aki, shut up! And I didn't say it like that. Aki starts laughing uncontrollably. To be honest, seeing Shoichi flustered like this is very amusing for some reason. I can't resist laughing like a complete idiot. You both suck. No wonder you're brothers. Hey, if you don't want me to parrot it back to my brother, then you shouldn't have said it in earshot of me. What? No one likes a snitch, Aki-kun. As far as I know, no one likes a creepy guy who watches other people sleeping either. Talk about sass. Aki is just slaying so hard right now. That's it. Come here, you brat! Shoichi starts chasing Aki around the house in what can only be described as a surreal scene. When did we turn into an early 60s American cartoon? Hey Shoichi, we're already late. Shouldn't we get going? Oh, right. As if he suddenly snapped back to reality, Shoichi lets go of Aki, whom he had captured. Aki then proceeds to run behind me to hide. What are you, 8? Hey, I might be young, but at least I can wake up on time for my appointments. You brat! Alright, before I'm forced to... Alright, before I'm forced to bear witness to a murder, shouldn't you eat something before we leave? I thought that since we were pressed for time, I should buy something on the way. Pressed for time? We're not pressed for time. It's a festival. It starts at night. What? I didn't know that. If it only starts at night, why the hell did you want me to wake up at 8:30? I thought we could spend the day together. Kind of like when we were kids. I simply stand there, giving Shoichi a blank look. What? You woke me up early. For no reason. Shoichi reaches towards me and flicks me in the forehead. Ow. You'll have a ton of opportunities to sleep in, lazy boy, but we won't always have the opportunity to spend time together. Did you already forget how ridiculously little free time I have? I groan, crossing my arms and looking away in frustration. Alright, I guess you're right. Where are we going anyway? Ramen. I'm going to need a little more to go on here. Do you remember that ramen restaurant close to our old club? It hosts a special food challenge on Saturdays. Ah, you mean Sakura Ramen and the super spicy special Sakura Ramen challenge? Aki suddenly chimes in on the conversation. I swear to God, I nearly forgot he was here. That's right, that's the one. Aki smiles, suddenly looking very amused. Common sense tells me that I should probably try to convince you not to go there. But if it's you, then I'm pretty sure it'll be no sweat. Have you tried the challenge before, Aki-kun? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It wasn't a pleasant experience. I could barely eat more than a few bites of it and my eyeballs felt like they were on fire. My tongue went numb. I could barely breathe. My throat burned more than Aniki's fur when he first tried cooking on American barbecue last year. Hey. Aki arched his eyebrows, looking defiantly at me. It's true! We couldn't even sell the grill because you got so pissed off when it singed your fur that you broke it into a million pieces. Oh, so that's how it happened. You've never heard anything about it. My lips are sealed. Sure. Until you find the time when it can cause the most damage. Well, anyway, that sounds a lot better than I thought. I can't wait to try it out. You want to come with us, Aki-kun? Aki scratches the back of his neck, smiling awkwardly. Sorry, I've already made plans. Oh, is that some blushing I see? Well, don't tell me that a little someone is going on a date. What? Don't be ridiculous, Kinda, yeah. What? Okay. Hi, welcome to Tennis Ace. Hiya. Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that a fucking 12-year-old gets more bitches. Aki looks down at the floor, his face tinted red. Well... You're going on a date? With whom? When? How did that happen? Where are you going? Why didn't you Alright, settle down, Mary Poppins. You don't need to scrutinize every little thing he does. You're not his nanny. What? He's my baby brother! He has no idea what he's doing. Of course I need to scrutinize everything he's doing. Hey, I'm already old enough to go on dates. You're 12. And a half. Also known as 12. Shoichi gets behind me, starts pushing me towards the front door as I kick and flail around trying to fight him. Okay, let's give Aki-kun a little room to breathe, shall we? Let me get this annoying Brocon older brother out of your fur, Aki-kun. What? But he can't... And who are you calling a Brocon? From the corner of my eyes, I can see Aki grinning as he begins waving at us. Have a nice day! Aki, we'll talk about this when I get back! Then I am promptly shoved right out the door. Even though it's still early, there's already a little bit of a crowd walking around the train station. Jeez, how long do you plan on sulking? It's been an hour already. I can't believe you didn't let me talk Aki out of it. Talk him out of it? He's almost a teen. He's going to start dating sooner or later. Why not take this chance to show him you trust him and do the smart thing? Plus, you know, Aki-kun, when was the last time he did something dumb? That kid is way too mature for his age already. Kind of the opposite of some older brother I know. I snort. Nah, Yuichi doesn't get any bitches. Yuichi doesn't get any bitches. His younger brother gets all the bitches. You disagree with me and insult me on the same breath. Kinda cruel if you ask me. What can I say? I'm good at multitasking. If the tables were turned and this was your sister instead, the thought of allowing her to go on a date would be inconceivable to you. Hitoka isn't stupid. I know she wouldn't go out on a date with a schmuck. Plus, I'm the last person who should be interfering with her life, really. You is the arm candy. I roll my eyes, making him giggle. Fine, whatever, I'll still ask Aki for details on what happened when I get home. Sure, just make sure he doesn't have the girl with him in his room before you barge in. What would she be doing in his room? Oh, you know. A puzzle. My brother's 12! Please don't talk about him doing... puzzles. Shoichi's laugh bellows so loudly that the people down the street turn to look at us. Not so loud, sheesh! Sorry. You're just way too much fun of a doting father. Sorry, you're just way too much of a doting father. Even though you're only his brother. It just makes me laugh. What's wrong with me worrying about him? I don't care how old he is. He's still my baby brother to me. Shoichi pats me on the back. There's nothing wrong with it. On the contrary, I really like this caring side of yours. Just dial it down a little. If you try controlling him too much, he's going to end up turning on you. Point taken. We're going to leave off here tonight. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.